If you care about what others think, you will forever be their prisoner. Now, there are levels to this line, and I think that there are some flaws in it anyways, but the core of it is if you are essentially caring about what people think of you so much to the point that you are starting to dictate your life and make directions upon those people caring about it or what you think they care about it, you are most definitely a prisoner to what they think or what you think that they think. The biggest thing that I've gained from thinking about or just reading this particular line is that people don't think about you that much. They really don't. They really don't. They're caught up thinking about what you probably think of them. And we live in these worlds where we think that others are thinking about us as much as we think about ourselves, and they're really not. And I just want to kick it off with that. We won't go any further with that than that. But this subscription or this complicity or this investment in what other people think about you at all times, and I will add a merit to this. I will put merited language on this. It can destroy your life. It absolutely can. It can make you go crazy. And the danger of worrying about what other people think of you all the time, it's not to sit here and say, hey, just don't give an F, dude. Just don't ever give an F. Don't give any Fs. Just like continually give like 0 or like negative Fs and just keep going with your life. Clearly, like holding what other people, oh my goodness, look what that just did. We gotta draw that back. Hold on, this is revolutionary. This is the first. Okay, let's see if we get that. My God, I just sounded like my dad for a second. We had a train going by, and so then I thought there was some shade, but there wasn't. If you continue to care about what other people think, you will be their prisoner because you are constantly trying to live within a blueprint or an outline set by something that is always changing, set by something that is not set by you. It is outside of you. If you want to get out, you have to go within. As he goes within, so he goes without. I think as within, so without. And the really, I'm going to give you 4 cautionary tales of what happens when you care about what other people think. We'll get into the special parts of the benefits in another video, but this is what happens when you care about what other people think so much to the point that you're a prisoner to them. And I can say this because I've done this so many times. This channel is from my own lived experience. Like a lot of it is me just navigating how I lived my life, and hopefully it can give you some value going forward. So you will get not 3, you will get 4 things on what caring about other people think can do to you to the extent that it starts to ruin you. I think considering how other people feel is a good thing. I think considering how others are is a good thing. Taking context in, I think, is a great thing. It's not everybody's having the same day as you. Not everybody's in the same state as you. It just is what it is. So I think it's good to be kind. I think it's good to be compassionate. I think caring about what other people think about you can be dangerous because you begin to then merit how you think about yourself based on someone else. You give up your autonomy. You give up your agency. You give yourself up to others. And it may not even be what they actually think. It's what you think that they think of you. And the mirror and the degrees of separation become so far apart that it gets really, it turns into an act of self-harm. So the first thing that you lose when you care about what others think as opposed to just becoming a prisoner, you begin to self-edit to match what they want. And I'm going to add to this. You begin to self-edit to match what you think they want. You are not in everybody's head. You don't know what other people actually are thinking. You never will. You can never know another human's heart. Like you can act based upon your prediction of it. And you can make a safe prediction. You're making a good gamble on it. But somebody can tell you this is what I'm thinking. And it can be an entirely different thing. But you begin to edit yourself to match what you think they want. And when I say edit, this is a big thing that we'll talk about throughout the entirety of this channel. When you edit yourself, it is when you take your authentic self, your higher self, and you begin to dim the shine, or you begin to cut out certain words, or this isn't like having etiquette or having grace or having class. This is when you are chopping up pieces of who you are, pieces of yourself that you love. You won't laugh as loud, or you'll alter your opinion on something just so everybody feels okay in the room. You will remain silent when somebody says something extremely harmful to somebody else just so you don't come off as against them. You'll laugh at somebody's joke that was harmful to somebody else just so as you won't come off as against them. We alter ourselves, our values, and even so far as our principles. And when we look at values and principles, this is the best way I can explain it. Think of yourself as a table. Your principles are the legs underneath the table. Your values are the things on top of it. Your values can kind of change here and there, but the principles are what keep you upright. If you begin to edit your principles based on people around you, who are you? Who are you being? You are being whatever you feel that environment asks of you at that point. I was watching the end of White Lotus, and somebody said, I'm most confident when I am myself. I believe is what the man said, or when I'm living in my truth. When you're not living in your truth and you got these slashed principles, you can't stand up, and your values slide off too. Your values start going out the window. It all starts to collapse at the same time. Self-editing, we'll get more into that, but self-editing is something that can happen to the extent that it becomes an unconsciously competent practice. You will begin to edit yourself without even knowing it. And you'll keep doing it just for the sake of other people. So, and you won't even know that you're doing it, and it'll get to the point that you don't even know who you are at a certain time because you begin to care what other people think so much that you don't know who you are. The second thing that you lose is you get into a pattern of people pleasing. This is an absolute, and again, I'm just going into merited language on this one. I know I don't do it on the other ones, but pattern pleasing can absolutely, I won't say destroy. Let's get a little less merited on it. It will lead you astray from your path. It will lead you so far outside yourself. You won't even know what pleases you anymore. Because when you say yes to everything, which is usually the proclivity of people that have codependency or engage in codependent behavior, you don't know what you would say yes to. You're just saying yes to anything that you feel would take pleasure in you saying yes outside of you. Somebody says, hey, would you like to go for a walk? Yes. Hey, would you like to go rob a bank? Yes, I would love to. Hey, would you like, and it's just like, well, why did I just say that? The other thing that I would get in a lot of trouble with is somebody would say, hey, can you meet up at 8 p.m.? I'd say, absolutely. And then somebody would say, hey, can you meet at 7 p.m.? And I said, I'm sure I can make that work. No. The timeline is, it's already frayed. You're gonna be at 7:59, you're gonna get in your car, and then it's gonna be a half hour until you can meet that other person. Now, you said yes to both these people. You can't be in both places at the same time. It's absolutely impossible. It just won't happen. So, when we are looking at like who we're being in those situations, I'm just pulling focus a little bit here. But the thing is that what happens is we end up not pleasing anybody. Like the idea of people pleasing just goes out the window because you're always trying to please somebody. The concept is, it's a bit narcissistic in and of itself. It's a bit, I won't say narcissistic because that the connotations to that have gotten so wildly amped up and like to hyperbole, but it becomes delusional to say yes to everything. You can't be everywhere. You're not, I think it's called Multiple Man in the Marvel Comics. You can't be everywhere at once. The third thing is that the variable in caring about what people think is that you don't know what they think all the time. It's changing. What people think changes all the time. So it's like, it may not even be what you actually think it is that they're thinking. So to put investment in something that's always moving is wild. It's wildly dangerous because it has no constant. It has no anchor. You have no understanding of where it could be or where it wants to be at any given time. So you're putting fate you're putting faith into something that's outside of you. You're divesting from faith in yourself, and this thing is moving all the time. You know where you are. And the thing is when you start caring about what other people think, you don't know where you are. You begin to lose their sense of self all the time. And the fourth thing, and this is the most important thing, this video could really go on for a long time, self-abandonment. Now this is something I can speak to because self-abandonment turns into, I can tell you what it feels like. You feel like a canvas without any, just with like a frame. You just feel like a frame. There's nothing to even put color or pencil or any lines on. Self-abandonment can become such a frequently practiced skill or craft that you lose just track of your center. You don't even, like in film we say, at the end of a scene or at the end of a take, we say, all right, go back to one. You go back to where you started, and then you say action, and you keep going from there. You don't even know where the one is anymore. You don't even know where the script is, or even what the story is at this point, because you're so far apart from yourself that you can't even engage in acts of self-love because, one, you don't know where yourself is, and two, you've forgotten how to love yourself. And so when we start caring about what other people think, it is an act of self-abandonment, from my experience, because it starts to just peel away. It starts to just like go off the road into the cornfield, which can be fun sometimes, to go off-road and whatnot, to snowmobile into the valley. But when that's all that it is, there's no sense of road, there's no sense of rail, there's no sense of any kind of path or promise to yourself. You're entirely. You imagine making plans with somebody and they say an hour beforehand, I can't make it. Imagine making plans again with that person and 5 minutes beforehand they say, I can't make it. Imagine making plans with that person again, and then 10 minutes after they're supposed to be there, you're there and they're saying, oh, sorry, I just didn't feel it today. That's what you're doing to yourself in self-abandonment. You're constantly breaking promises that you made to yourself. And when you break those promises, now here's the disappearing of the merit. Not bad or good. It's just a thing. And when you commit to self-abandonment, the strangest thing about committing to self-abandonment is that you don't even know that you committed to it. It's just happening. And you begin to wonder, okay, what am I doing? Who am I? All those questions seep in and they become such a daily routine of existence that you more often than not do not have the answers to them, so you just forego even trying to give an answer to any of these questions that are extremely important to living an intentional life. The story that I have with this is, I'll be as vague as I possibly can. There was a man. There was a man who once said he had to cease living his life. This is not me. Cease living his life the way that he was living it. And it was asked of him, what are you ceasing in your life? What are you stopping? What are you saying you're no longer a part of? And this man said, up until now, my life has been, yeah, sure. And the question was asked, what do you mean by yeah, sure? The man answers, somebody would say, you know what? I would like to go to this bar tonight. Would you like to come along? Yeah, sure. You know what? I would like to engage in these substances and these drugs. Would you like to do them with me? Yeah, sure. You know what? I would like to engage in a relationship with you. Would you like to do that too? Yeah, sure. All of it was yeah, sure, because it was never for himself. It was always just responding to the 3D. Like it was just, let me go out and see what I can say yes to. Whatever comes my way, I will say yes. Now there are some practices where people say, I'm gonna say yes to everything for a week. You get these millionaires out here that are like, you wanna jump out of a helicopter with the parachute? Yeah, let's do it. And they go on these like X Game adventures. That is not this. This is somebody being tacitly complicit, passively complicit and cooperative with anything that exhibited a modicum of interest. And there was no safeguard, there was no filter, there was no standard, there was no anything that would come into his life. And the life that he ended up leading was clearly not one of his own. It was whatever was around him. And at some point he found out, this is not my life. This isn't my life. I don't want this. And the wild part about it is that it took a very long time for it. We talk about Bill Hader having the idea about anxiety at the age of 38. Like a lot of these things, there was that one video says, life begins at 40. A lot of these things, I think when people really overvalue age sometimes, because we say, well, it's been going on for this long, I guess it's going to be going on forever. And it's like, no. It can change. You can change it right now. Just because this is sunken cost fallacy of, oh, it's been happening for this long, I guess it's just going to be my life. No. The point of this is that you do not have to care what others think. And to do that is not simply as just like flicking a switch and, no, I don't care. It's the idea of getting into why did you care so much in the first place? And then also the other flip of it, which is a little bit, it overlaps this. Why did you stop caring about what you think? Why did you prioritize what others think over you? We'll get into this later, but this part we're addressing right now. Why do you prioritize that? And then the next question is, why don't you love or value what you think about yourself? Because that is the core. That's the God in you. That's the love in you. That's the heart in you. Is when are you going to start engaging with that as within, so without? So when you start to say, whoa, this other stuff, these people caring about me, this is so full circle. Now we have another train going by. Oh, do we gotta do it? Oh yeah, it's a long one. We're gonna get it. When you start to invest in those questions of, whoa. What happened to what I think about myself? What happened to my, yeah, sure. What happened to propositioning a question to myself and then me saying, no, I don't think so. Where are my limitations? Where are my standards? Where do I draw the line? Who am I in this whole picture? Where do I start saying, no, this has to be better for me to say yes to that. I don't do that anymore. There have been moments where I needed the money and was offered like an acting or film job, and it was so, the rate or for what was going on was so wildly low or to the past the point of, disrespect, that I was just like, it's not about getting the money, it's about universally what am I saying yes to. And that for me, that doesn't come overnight. Like that's daily practice, that's meditation. You have to sit down and decide what your worth is. You really do. You really got to sit down and make that choice for yourself. And once you start doing that, you'll then see the outside world the world outside of you begin to interact different, because you have this idea of who you are. And if it's not on the level that you need it to be, well, then it's an easy no. It's an easy no, or it's an easy yes. It's an easy hell yes. So I hope that helps you out. I really hope it does. We're going to get more into this, but that is the video on, if you care about what others think, you will always be the prisoner. And I know that you're going to break free, or if not, you've already broken free and you're just on the path to learning more. That's all we got for you today. We'll see you in the next video.